I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. '22 Hyundai Tucson.
HEV without launch control. Damn.
Pretty okay. Horsepower and torque.
A combined 227 horsepower and 258 pound-feet of torque from a 1.6 liter turbo 4-cylinder hybrid.
And before we get into these amazing front end looks with the best headlights in the world, I'm just gonna floor it while I'm on a roll.
Okay, and you're in power mode or sport mode?
Sport mode.
Bit of lag on the downshift, but then it goes.
It's got a lot more power higher up than you'd expect.
Yeah, it's not like it's turbo boost, but it's like hybrid boost later.
Okay, the looks. This is the new style front end, which is also going to be on the new Subaru Baja by Hyundai.
Yes, the Santa Cruz, which looks awesome.
And we first saw this at the Canadian International Auto Show on that one concept, and I'm like, wow, that is so unreal. That'll never happen in real life. And this is a very good representation of the concept, I think.
Yeah, I feel like they made the headlight design work on the concept because they knew they could do it for production.
Exactly, and that's why I'm not mad that like this doesn't have the craziest like body lines and stuff from the other one, because they took the best part and brought it into real life. But we don't have matte paint on this one. We've got like a darker sparkly green. I think these headlights need a matte paint.
Yeah, but at this price point and the type of car this is, nobody wants that.
Yeah, I mean, it's still a Tucson. This should not be this good looking for a Tucson.
And it's really cool how they integrated the Hyundai badge into the grille. It's not like an afterthought. It's like actually part of the design.
And like a lot of other Hyundais, the headlights are now at the very bottom.
Yeah, that seems to be the theme going forward, where they kind of like make slits up top and then the actual headlights are lower.
And then this also has really crazy body lines. It's that triangle stuff that they're doing in the Elantra. I think it looks fantastic for a real life car and much better than the way the Elantra did it.
Yeah, I really didn't like the way the Elantra did it, and it was just too many triangles. This is the right way of implementing the triangles, because they're not like full triangles, there's still some roundness to it as well.
Yeah, this thing would probably look amazing if it was dumped with white wheels and like some stance.
Yeah, and it would also look really cool as a pickup truck for some reason.
Yeah.
Because yeah, they actually did that.
I think the first pickup truck design of the Santa Cruz with the old Hyundai bumper almost looked better, but this looks like, I guess, more future and stuff.
It's definitely super future. But anyways, back to the side. I really like these wheels, but they're kind of electric-y enough without being overly electric-y.
They could be a little wilder, but Hyundai pretty much has like a whole bunch of cool stuff all around the board, so I can't blame them for trying this.
And there will be an N-line version of this as well, which is going to get cooler wheels and an overall cooler body kit.
And then what would be the Continental recommended tire for this triangle cool headlight car?
The Cross Contact LX Sport.
And if you like self-driving cars, don't forget to subscribe to the channel.
And if you don't like self-driving cars, also don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, this is really weird because Yuri's literally controlling the car with his remote.
And now moving on to the back end, these crazy dudes managed to outdo themselves again with some of the best taillights of the year.
Yeah, the taillights are really cool. Not as cool as the headlights, but they are still very, very nice.
I would say like equally as cool. It's got the line that goes all the way across and these cool things that cut in. It's kind of got sparkles like that first E-Class we drove did. And then it's got the Hyundai badge above it in the glass to get it out of the way of that taillight.
Yeah, I mean, the back end does look really cool. It looks a little awkward from, I think, the rear 3/4, but I think straight on it looks good.
And what I'm very impressed with this is that instead of putting a fake mesh at the bottom like they have on your Fiesta ST, they put triangles.
Yes.
Can you get mad at three-dimensional triangles?
No, you really can't. And there's no fake exhaust tip whatsoever. So let's take a listen to the outside.
Now, the only part that sucks is that the turn signals are so low that a car behind you cannot see it at all. Hyundai's been doing that in a bunch of other cars as well. I think everyone should cut that shit out, move those turn signals up to the top. We don't need to pull another I'm General Motors and every time I put a car in park, the reverse lights go on again. Like,
it's definitely borderline hazardous. Like, you can't see it if you're sitting in traffic and there's a car in front of you and you're like, you know, bumper to bumper. You don't know what they're doing.
You don't know.
Could be going straight, could be going right, left.
And reverse lights. You know, sometimes people back up at intersections. You have no way of knowing if that person's staying in reverse and they're just going to smash right into you.
Yeah. No, bring those taillights up. Or, sorry, turn signals up.
All right, your turn to drive.
Okay.
I need you to shift at red line with those paddles.
I got this, Yuri. Power!
Still power.
So there's no RPM gauge for some weird reason, even though I'm in sport mode. I get that this is a hybrid, but at least in sport mode, it would be cool if the gauge is changed to an RPM gauge, aka a tachometer.
Yeah, we know it's the tach is the RPM gauge.
Just say RPM.
Look, none of this is scripted. We don't write it ahead of time and then drive the car and be like, say what we wrote, even though we don't know anything about the car.
Yeah.
We just go off the cuff, and sometimes we say RPM gauge. Like,
yeah.
At least we're genuine.
Anyways, back to these paddles. The paddles are actually really nice, but they're totally useless. So it's kind of nice that they give them to you for fun, but like, here, I'm going to downshift. I can't even downshift down to the second.
But you got your gear thing. You can see it on the top left, so that's interesting.
Yeah, so I know I'm in third, but I have no idea what RPMs I'm at. And it is a 6-speed auto, and it does shift pretty seamlessly, I'd say.
Wow, that felt like some good power there.
Yeah, definitely got some little bit of turbo boost with some hybrid boost. And speaking of that hybrid stuff, so we do have a couple different drive modes. I'll get into those right after Cliche Corner. But what I want to use into Cliche Corner is I actually want to leave my traction on, because this has something called e-handling. So it'll actually use the electric motors and kind of torque vector through the electric motors when the traction is on.
I think it's working.
I feel like it actually is. Like, you could send this thing pretty hard and it doesn't understeer that badly. Like, it's pretty damn good.
I'm actually pretty shocked for a Tucson handling that well. Like, that's almost like Mazda CX-30 turbo territory.
Yeah, and this does have H-Track all-wheel drive, and it also has the e-handling stuff, so it can vary the torque distribution from the gas engine and the electric motors as well.
And we should probably mention this is not a plug-in hybrid, and all the electricity and stuff just does itself automatically, and it feels like it goes into EV mode quite a bit.
Yeah, so let's talk about these drive modes now. I'm going to get out of sport. I'm actually going to go into eco. So in eco, you do get more EV. Like right now, I'm actually driving in full electric, and like you said, I find that this car drives in EV mode a lot more than other hybrids, because a lot of ones you don't really feel the transition. Like it always feels like it's on gas, but you're just getting like an electric boost. This one, I feel like you get a lot more EV, and it's really cool to have the energy flow in your gauge as well.
Yeah, you can have it on your infotainment screen as well, and then a little EV logo shows up every time, so it's very simple and clear.
Yeah, and then the other drive modes that we have are terrain modes, which I really don't think anyone's ever going to use, but we do have snow, mud, and sand. And the gauges change between all the drive modes. The animations are pretty cool. They're not laggy, but again, no RPM gauge or tachometer between any transitions.
Yeah, just good old solid Hyundai gauges, this time with no lag.
And speaking of the gauges, there's no hood over the gauges, but they're always bright.
Okay, can we talk about this interior real quick?
Let's do it.
It looks very, very nice. The first thing I noticed is that there's these two swoops, and it carries all the way along to the door panels. And on the driver's side, we have our modes for the seat save there, and I think it's integrated very, very well.
Yeah, it's definitely a fancy looking interior considering it is a Hyundai at the end of the day.
And then the way it swoops into the infotainment looks very nice. The screen is very nice. The only thing that sucks is it's all capacitive touch buttons, which is like not the hardest to use, but it sucks so much compared to Hyundai from like 4 years ago when everything was hard buttons and knobs and perfect.
It definitely looks fancier, but function-wise, it's just, you do have to take your eyes off the road more. It's not as good. We have a ton of gloss black in here, like
it's already like scratched up.
Yeah, and this car has like barely any kilometers on it, or miles if you're in America. But anyways, it's all just, it's basically everywhere.
And then like that Elantra, we still have the same style steering wheel that is split across with that little black line.
Oh yeah.
I do like the steering wheel. It is cool. I like the weird Hyundai shape.
Yeah, I kind of like this 4-spoke one, even though I don't really like 4-spoke, but they have these like extra things over here I can rest my hand very comfortably.
So this does have Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, but it is wired, which I love, but there's no choice for wireless Apple CarPlay here.
Yeah, but in other new Hyundais, like the Santa Fe that we're also driving, that one only has wireless, which this is definitely the better system.
But that one has like the old school infotainment too. It's a weird mix of different things.
Just like the Elantra N-Line that you drove virtually with me as well.
Yes, I remember how that feels. Okay, back to this material stuff. We've got a lot of white in here, which I think is very luxurious for a Tucson. And then we've got this cool fabric-y material that I also really like.
Yeah, driving position is really good. The seats are very comfortable. They're not too bolstered, but they're totally fine for what this type of car is.
Yeah, and you were stoked that this passenger seat can actually raise up and down because you're tall and you always have no headroom. Okay, how about backseat room?
Totally fine. It's like shockingly good for myself at 6'1.5".
Yeah, and the seats do recline a bit. And say you want to recline your seats more, but that trunk privacy cover is in the way, you can actually slide that back a notch so you have more room to lean back. But what sucks is there's no baby shades in the back.
Right.
Which
no
the
peasant blockers.
The Nissan Rogue had at a lot of different lower trims. So if you did get this for kid stuff, then you got to go buy those like stick-on shades, which is like...
Yeah, it's not very premium.
No, not very premium considering the rest of the car.
And speaking about the trunk, what about the box test?
The box test. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, new box test member, Reggie, for 12. Probably fit one more. Nope, it was only 12. Shout out to these guys who didn't make it in this one, but you're gonna make it in that one. Overall, good trunk room, but the same as the Honda Civic.
Yeah. Man, that's Civic.
I know.
What about the visors?
I'm sure they'll pass.
Yeah, I think so.
3, 2, 1.
Yes, good job. And the cup holders, Yuri.
They're fine, lots of room. And then we've got a bunch of compartments for your cell phone there. And underneath, we've got some room too.
And don't forget, we do have a wireless charger in a pretty cool spot over here. And we also have heated and cooled seats and a heated steering wheel and a bunch of other little modes and stuff here.
And then our reverse/360 camera is the perfect Hyundai Kia 360 camera where you can see every single wheel. So much nicer than that Nissan Rogue long-term tester.
And we also have Smart Park or Smart Park.
Smart Park.
So you can actually just move this car back and forth in a parking spot from your remote, which is pretty cool.
So is that pretty much everything with the new Tucson?
Yeah, I really like this car.
Yeah, and if you want to get more in depth with Hyundai infotainments, I think watch our old Elantra review. There's pretty much a lot of similar stuff with this.
Yeah, because it's the same infotainment.
So let's get to the price.
This one is the top trim, and it is fully loaded at $41,499.
Canadian.
And I think that's pretty good value considering this is a hybrid, and it's a very good hybrid because the system works well. It's a very seamless transition between the gas and electric and the motors. So overall, I really like this powertrain.
I think this is totally worth it because it has the best to date in the last 12 months DRLs and taillights of any car we reviewed. I'm giving that an official award. Hyundai, feel free to post that on Twitter, brag about it, send it in newsletters.
Yes.
For that alone, you should get this car because nobody else has headlights this nice.
So the award is the best headlights of the year in the last 12 months.
Yes.
Just to be specific.
That is it.
So you can't give it the 2021 award.
No.
You have to give it the last 12 months of the year.
It is. What day is it today?
The 23rd.
The Straight Pipes, April 23rd, best DRLs and taillights of the year of the last 12 months.
Congratulations, Hyundai.
That's a serious award, though. They pretty much win all the time. I think Telluride was the last one who won, though.
Yeah, it was.
Same fam.
Yeah.
So this compared to the Rogue?
This is way nicer. This feels much more luxurious. The powertrain is much more advanced. The gauges are a lot cooler. The infotainment works a lot better. The 360 cameras are better. The seat comfort is a little bit worse.
And it has highway driving assist.
Yeah, that's right.
Overall, I would take this over a Rogue, even a Rogue in Champagne with the black roof, because they are lacking in the DRL and taillight department.
Yeah, and then this also competes with like a Mazda CX-5, a Honda CRV, which we haven't driven, and a Toyota RAV4.
Yeah, I would take this over the Toyota. The Mazda...
Mazda's more premium feeling.
I might go Mazda because I really like that infotainment.
Yeah, and then you can also get the turbo engine in that too.
And I still can't believe we haven't reviewed a CRV.
We've been trying.
Yo, Honda, drop one off. We'll make a review. So let us know what you think of the Hyundai Tucson.
Dude, we got through the whole review without calling it a Tucson.
Let me know in the comments below if there is any headlight DRL that is better than this, and I will tell you why you are wrong.
And since we talked about headlights so much and how much we like them, watch our Kia Telluride video because that had some pretty sick headlights.
Or the K5. Ooh, I think that one was the last one that won the headlights.
Yeah,
but these headlights, these are way better than the K5.
They are.
Good job, Hyundai, Kia, Genesis brand.
Whoever's doing that at your company.
It's one dude.
Yeah.